All right, so here is lesson 3 that was presented in class on Friday, February 5th, starting with our review of opening and learning targets, took a look at the language dive, read the text Team Moon to discuss the author's point of view and the author's purpose, and then also review the assignments for tonight. So we started with our opening. In the previous lessons, you built background knowledge about the space race. We read about the context in which the space race began, noting its goals and political undertones. Then we read a speech by President John F. Kennedy expressing the need to prioritize space exploration. In this lesson, we're going to add to our understanding of the timeline of Apollo 11 by reading a text that describes the final events before the Apollo 11 launch. We will also engage in a language dive to help develop abilities to identify ways an author uses words with specific connotations to express her point of view. Connotations, again, is the tone or vibe, positive, negative, or neutral, that you get from a word chosen to be used. Our learning targets today: I can analyze the author's point of view and purpose and how they are conveyed in the Team Moon text, and I can determine an author's claim made in an excerpt of Team Moon. For the entrance ticket here, they provided us with the space race events timeline that is worth looking at and getting kind of some background information on. Then we went into the language dive, which focused on one specific sentence from the text Team Moon. And we looked at the sentence: space, it's dangerous out there, micrometeoroids, radiation, airlessness, and coming home would be no picnic either. The compact car-sized space capsule would be greeted and surrounded by searing white-hot flames as it slammed madly back down to Earth. And so we focused on the tone of that sentence and that it had a pretty negative vibe to it, with words like dangerous, no picnic, that she says that you would be greeted by searing white hot flames and as it slammed madly back down to Earth. And so overall, we've got kind of a negative vibe. She's concerned about the dangers. All right, so let's take a look at the text for today's assignment. We read this text, Team Moon, together, and then we discussed the author's point of view of the mission, positive, negative, how the author was feeling, and what the purpose was of this text. Was the author trying to persuade us, inform us, or entertain us? And so there are 13 sections that Team Moon was broken down into. And within each section, you would get either a positive, negative, or neutral tone from the author and how she was feeling about this mission. And we also could get a sense of whether she was trying to persuade, inform, or entertain us. The tone varied throughout, and then the author's purpose vacillated sometimes between entertainment, when she would use words like four-legged, spidery-ish thingamajig. That's not a very scientific, academic, informative way of explaining something. But then there were times that it was quite informative. So in the end, it is your call to determine, after reading the entire text, did you get a sense that the author was feeling positively toward this endeavor, or negatively, and why? And then also, what was the author's purpose? Was the author trying to inform us? Was the author trying to entertain us based on the language that was used? So that is one question you'll be answering in the text box, and then you also have been asked to select one of these glossary words to use correctly in a sentence. The last part of the assignment for this lesson is in this closing exit ticket. Read the text. Here, a quote by Michael Collins, who joined Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. And then there are 3 questions attached to answer based on that quote and the vocab that is available there to use. And that is the lesson.